Welcome. My name is Penny Rosema, and you're listening to the Cookware Manufacturers Association podcast. One of our goals is to keep our members informed. In this podcast, our focus is on the cookware and bakeware retail market. Our guest is Erika Sirimanne. She's joining our call today from Singapore. Erika is the head of Home and Garden for Euromonitor. She manages home and garden research for Euromonitor globally, analyzing how key trends such as digitalization, urbanization, and the smart home, how those are impacting homewares, home furnishings, home improvement, and gardening. Now you can find more about Euromonitor at www.euromonitor.com. And Erika has been generous today and said you can also reach out to her via her email. Her email address will be posted on our header information for this podcast. But for those of you listening and not driving, her email address is Erika, ERIKA, dot SIRIMANNE at euromonitor.com. Hello, Erika. Welcome to our podcast.
Hi, Penny. Great to be here and chatting with you.
Yes, I really appreciate you coordinating between our two different time zones, so thank you. I'd like to start our questioning by providing listeners a general background on Euromonitor. What do they do and who do they serve? By the name Euromonitor, are we assuming your market is only Europe?
Sure thing, Penny. So for those of you who are not familiar with Euromonitor, we're a leading business intelligence company focusing on consumer markets with 15 offices around the world. We provide data and insights across multiple industries, including home and garden, retailing, packaged food, etc., in 210 countries. Through our passport database, our clients have access to unique insights and analysis across industries and geographies. Within our home and garden research, we cover cookware, bakeware, tableware, kitchen utensils, and food storage. Our research also looks at home furnishings, home improvement, and gardening as well.
210 countries. That's great information. So the name Euromonitor does not mean just Europe. Great background there. Now, it's always interesting for people looking at your data and listening to the information that we're going to be sharing today. But what are the data resources? How do you collect the information that you have? How do you collect your data?
Okay, so at Euromonitor, we use a combination of primary and secondary research, including store checks, desk research, and trade interviews. Through the triangulation of these sources, we build consensus on market size, market share, and distribution estimates for each of the industries we cover.
Excellent. So this is great. Let's talk about cookware and bakeware. From your research, can you tell us what you see as trends for the industry? Are there global or regional differences?
Sure thing. So in stovetop cookware, we see that North America accounts for 13% of global sales. And this is actually down from 15% when compared to 5 years ago. Asia Pacific has been stealing share from North America and Europe to account for 55% of global cookware sales in 2018, up from 48% in 2013. Rising incomes in APAC push consumers into new income brackets, triggering new cookware purchases. The US stovetop cookware market exhibited modest growth of 1.1% in 2018, but we expect this growth to pick up over the next 5 years, with retail value sales for the category growing by an average of 4.7% year on year between 2018 and 2023. Stovetop cookware is a major driver of the overall homeware category in the US, and it's expected to expand by $639 million over the next 5 years. So that's over 30% of the total absolute growth for homewares. And there are some overarching trends which continue to shape the cookware category, including health and wellness and urbanization. In terms of new product development, of late we've seen innovation relating to the smart home and sustainability. The Heston Q Smart Induction Cooktop, inclusive of a stainless steel pan, is one example of how the Internet of Things and the smart home are making inroads into the cookware category. The idea of precision cooking isn't new, especially given the recent buzz around sous vide devices. However, what's interesting about this innovation is that the demand for induction cooking remains quite niche in the US so far. In the UK and Australia, induction hobs accounted for 26% and 34% of built-in hobs in 2018, respectively. In the US, induction hobs accounted for a mere 1% of built-in hobs in 2018. And I'm sure it comes as no surprise to cookware manufacturers that households in the US overwhelmingly favor gas, and the shift to induction hasn't taken place like other developed markets. Nonetheless, movement towards smart and more sustainable kitchens may result in induction cooking gaining momentum, especially if induction hobs are integrated into the ecosystem of major appliances. Even Heston Q has partnered with GE to improve adoption rates, and now GE's cafe cooktops use Heston Q technology. Induction cooking is believed to be more energy efficient, so ticking the sustainability box. But the upfront cost of buying new induction-friendly pans may prove unpalatable to consumers in the short term. On the bright side, existing iron and stainless steel cookware manufacturers will benefit from any potential shift towards induction in the future.
Great information there. I want to point out a couple of things for the North American market. Because we were just recently working on the induction, a new chapter in the engineering standards here for the U.S. on induction cookware, and we had a long discussion on what to name the heat source. Some call it a hob, some call it a heat source. So when you reference some information in here, you talked about built-in hobs, and we are talking about the heat source. It's not a burner because there's no flame, so it is referenced often as a hob or a heat source. The other thing I wanted to mention to our listeners is that there's a wealth of information that you just gave us. This information will be in printed form on the cookware.org website under resources and CMA articles. So if you're looking for more of the fine details and you like to hear this information in the printed form, we will have that on our website. So thank you, Erika. This is very valuable information. The next question I have here to focus on specific categories of cookware. Let's talk about aluminum, stainless steel, cast iron. Do you notice any preferences by region?
Yeah, sure. So globally, the stovetop cookware category is mostly metal, but there are some regional differences. So glass stovetop cookware tends to be more prevalent in Asia when compared with North America. For example, 15% and 9% of cookware in Singapore and Malaysia was glass in 2018, respectively. Similarly, ceramic is a popular material used in Europe. 22% of stovetop cookware in the UK and 27% in France was ceramic in 2018. When looking at the US, it's similar to Canada and Australia, where metal accounts for over 90% of stovetop cookware retail sales. Copper cookware is still in vogue due to its attractive aesthetic as well as its functionality. Eco-friendly brands like Green Pan are also gaining ground, but while there is growing interest in buying cookware that is healthier or more sustainable, convenience still remains king. Demand for cast iron and ceramic cookware is on the up, but cash and time-strapped consumers still look to non-stick, lightweight, and fuss-free aluminium and stainless steel products to cook quickly and with ease. We've also seen cookware manufacturers embracing the urbanization trend and releasing space-saving cookware products, mostly stackable pots and pans.
Again, a wealth of information there, Erika. Thank you. I want to remind listeners they're listening to the Cookware Manufacturing Association podcast. Erika is sharing her insight on the cookware and bakeware retail market. I know you're thinking, where can I find out more information about Euromonitor and their services? It's pretty simple, www.euromonitor.com. And of course, you can find more information about Cookware Manufacturing Association on our website, cookware.org. My other little short commercial break I like to take in the middle of these podcasts is to remind our members to register for the CMA Fall Meeting in Chicago in early September. This event is open to CMA members, and I call them pre-members. You have some interest in what's going on with the Cookware Manufacturing Association, and you're wondering what happens at those meetings. Give us a call. We'll pre-qualify you, confirm you're a qualified guest. And in any case, you can find more answers about what the association meeting is about on our website, and there's a direct link to information about the registration, the schedule, the speakers, and hotel information. More importantly, let's get back to our conversation with Erika. Erika, my next question is, we talked about cookware trends. Let's not forget about bakeware. Are there any specific trends for bakeware, and are there any differences by region?
Well, earlier I shared the regional splits for global cookware sales. The bakeware category is altogether different. Almost a quarter of global ovenware sales take place in North America. And North America was the second largest region for global ovenware sales in 2018 at 23%, second only to Western Europe at 44%. In contrast to cookware, Asia Pacific accounted for a mere 7% of global ovenware sales in 2018. Consumer lifestyles in APAC differ greatly from Western Europe and North America, including cuisine and cooking methods. Baking is less prevalent, and the preparation of traditional local food does not necessarily require an oven. So while growing, ovenware is still relatively niche in Asia Pacific. According to Euromonitor's 2019 lifestyle survey, 35% of US consumers say they cook or bake almost every day. The renaissance in home cooking can be linked to demand for healthier lifestyles, but also to JOMO, the joy of missing out. From FOMO to JOMO, consumers are putting an emphasis on enjoying time at home, but are also craving simplicity, health, and wellness in the home. This back-to-basics approach has stoked demand for home baking, and as a result, we expect to see ovenware retail sales climb by an average of 2.7% year-on-year between 2018 and 2023. And when talking about bakeware, there are two key themes I think are really important to mention. Firstly, as with cookware, we're seeing product innovation in the consumer appliance space. So Miele recently introduced its Dialog Precision Oven, which uses electromagnetic waves to calculate the amount of energy needed to cook each ingredient. So it's pretty much guaranteeing perfect results. Secondly, food preparation habits differ across consumer segments. Around 38% of baby boomers and millennials said they cook or bake every day, but only 20% of Generation Z do the same in the US. Euromonitor's 2019 lifestyle survey found that more than 30% of millennials like to cook, but they also report not being able to cook well or have enough time to cook. Consequently, consumer education, and that could be in the form of recipe advice or food preparation guidance, will become increasingly important, and some cookware and appliance players are already partnering with technology companies to fill this knowledge gap. For example, Bosch recently acquired Kitchen Stories, a Berlin startup which offers online recipe inspiration.
Very interesting. When we talk about the cookware bakeware market, we always have to include a conversation on non-stick finishes. Very interested in what your observations are in that category. What's the favorite? You've got ceramic versus PTFE. And are there trend differences by region in that category?
Okay, well, I believe there's still a lot of misunderstanding on the behalf of consumers around non-stick coatings and the relationship between PTFE and PFOA. So within the category, ceramic non-stick cookware is often touted as the healthy or the sustainable alternative. However, I think it's fair to say that consumers may not really understand the differences between PFOA and PTFE, as well as ceramic and PTFE non-stick coatings. This ambiguity is likely beneficial for producers of ceramic non-stick coating products. And what we do expect is that healthy living and ethical consumerism will be the biggest drivers for ceramic non-stick coating products over the next 5 years.
Yeah, that is a lot of, if you just type in PFOA and PTFE, even the information you read on the web is not always correct. So I can understand why consumers can be very confused by all that conversation. A lot of noise out there. We talked about global and regional retail trends for our industry. Do you have any top line impressions on what's happening in the product supply side? The impact of tariffs? What trends are you seeing from your perspective?
Sure. Well, the tariffs on Chinese steel and aluminium imports implemented in 2018 by the Trump administration had a profound impact on cookware manufacturers in the US, driving up the cost of raw materials. Following the implementation of these tariffs, US cookware manufacturers were faced with the option of either buying domestically produced steel or footing the bill for steel from foreign markets, albeit at a higher price when compared to pre-tariff times. So we fast forward to July 2019, and we see that this most recent round of tariffs on Chinese imports includes a number of consumer products, including ceramics, glassware, as well as iron and even steel products. So it's bad news for cookware manufacturers that import their products from China, but this could create opportunities for cookware players with manufacturing operations in the US. US cookware manufacturers, although still dealing with tariffs on commodity steel and aluminium, may be seen as more competitive than those manufacturing in or importing from China, and US housewares retailers are likely on the lookout for the former. Nonetheless, not all US suppliers will be able to capitalize on these opportunities. I just read recently that Tramontina is closing its factory in the US, citing rising production costs and tariffs. Therefore, it really does depend on the scale of each company's operations to see if they can weather this tariff storm.
Very interesting. Yeah, the dynamics of the tariffs are affecting everybody in just varying degrees. Wow, Erika, the information you shared today it's very valuable. I kind of put you on the spot a little bit. I hope that we can continue this conversation and do another interview, and maybe in 6 months, or have you on a webinar at some point where people can interact and have conversations. So I'm going to keep in touch with you.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
And again, I thank you so much for adjusting your schedule, because I know this is we're on 2 different time zones here. So I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us. I want to remind listeners, this is the Cookware Manufacturers Association podcast, and Erika has been sharing her insight and research and expertise on the cookware bakeware retail market. Erika, any other updates or insight? Is there anything we missed?
Well, look, if your listeners are looking for more information on Euromonitor, I just wanted to repeat, you can visit our website, www.euromonitor.com. We also have free articles, white papers, and videocasts on our blog, and that address is blog.euromonitor.com. And lastly, you can reach out to me via email, or you can even find me on LinkedIn and reach out to me there as well.
Yes, I believe that's how we connected first, was on LinkedIn. That is an excellent resource. I'm glad you mentioned that too. I almost often forget that. And yes, I've been on your website, and you do have a number of great articles and information, white papers, and those video casts. So again, thank you for reminding our listeners about that. My name is Penny Rosema, and if you'd like more information about CMA, you can contact me at prosema.cookware.org. And you can find more information about our association on our website, cookware.org. We want to remind everyone our association provides valuable resources to our members, suppliers, and the retailers in the U.S. We maintain and update the engineering standards for the production of cookware and bakeware. And I'd like to just add that Erika talked about induction cookware and the trends that are going on with that. We are adding an induction cookware chapter to the CMA Engineering, Bakeware, and Cookware Standards. We also are updating Chapter 13 on handle specifications. So you want to stay in tune with that information. Again, you can find it on our website. We also provide to our members statistical reporting and resources for retailers, including cookware training guides and some learning tools. Check out our website. And of course, to our members or those pre-members, people that are interested in the association, it is an excellent opportunity to network with the best in our industry. And of course, we would get real-time links and updates to podcasts like this one. We try to keep our finger on the pulse of what's going on in cookware and bakeware. This podcast is available on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play, and of course also available directly on the cookware.org website. There is a tab link at the top of the webpage called Podcasts, and you do not have to be a member to log in to listen to those podcasts. I think that covers all the information. Thank you again, Erika.
Well, thanks, Penny. It was great chatting with you.
And we look forward to connecting again. This makes a wrap for this episode. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Enjoy the day.